Chosen one, this moment isn't random, it's divine alignment. If you're hearing these words right now, it means heaven has scheduled this encounter. God has guided you here, not by chance, but by purpose. What you're about to receive is not just a message, it's a divine transmission that carries the power to completely shift your life. The struggle, it ends today. Your days of financial hardship, silent battles, and unseen tears are coming to an end because the Creator of the universe has stepped in. From this moment forward, God is taking full responsibility for your wealth, your provision, and your destiny. The abundance you've long prayed for is already in motion, and soon the world will witness the true richness God has hidden inside you. This is your time, your appointed season. No force in hell can block what heaven has already released. But before we dive deep into what's ahead, pause and like this video, subscribe to help us reach our 1,000 subscriber milestone, and comment the number 99 to seal this message in agreement with heaven. That number isn't random. It carries spiritual power, divine alignment, and confirmation of the new beginning you're stepping into. Chosen one, your spirit knows this truth. That's why you're still watching. You've been faithful in the drought, now God is sending rain. No more striving, no more scarcity. From this day forward, provision becomes your portion. The burden of making it on your own is being lifted, and in its place comes God's covenant of continual supply. You're not just entering a season of blessings, you're stepping into a lifetime of divine provision. So stay with me, because by the time we're done, you won't just believe it, you'll be living it. Number one, divine selection. Recognizing your chosen status. Being chosen isn't about perfection, it's about purpose, a divine purpose woven into the very fabric of your existence. You weren't picked by chance or favoritism, you were selected by design. God didn't search for the perfect, the polished, or the powerful. He sought the willing. That's the divine paradox. The Creator of galaxies doesn't call those who appear qualified by worldly standards. Instead, he qualifies those who have the courage to say yes, even when they feel unworthy, unequipped, or unsure. This is the spiritual truth echoed through time. Moses stuttered, yet he led nations. David was a shepherd boy, yet he became a king. Esther was an orphan, yet she saved a nation. What made them chosen wasn't perfection, it was their purpose and their obedience to it. This truth is echoed in the words of Paramahansa Yogananda. Spiritual riches are within you. Who you are is so much greater than anyone or anything you have ever desired. Think about that for a moment. You've been taught to seek greatness outside of yourself, through achievements, relationships, appearances. But the spiritual elite have always known that your truest riches lie within. The calling on your life isn't something you have to chase. It's something you have to awaken to. You're not an empty vessel waiting to be filled. You are a sacred temple, already glowing with divine potential. The moment you stop striving to be perfect and start surrendering to your true essence, you align with the power that chose you in the first place. Now here's where it gets personal, because this isn't just about theory or ancient wisdom. This is about you, your story, your sacred assignment. The universe doesn't make mistakes, and your presence here is not random. Maybe you've felt overlooked, broken, too different, too sensitive, or too intense for this world. But that's exactly why you were chosen, because what others saw as flaws, God saw as tools. He saw a heart that could endure, a spirit that could rise, and a soul that could heal others by simply existing in truth. So here's your action step, your sacred ritual. Embrace your identity. Every single day, look in the mirror and affirm this truth. I am chosen for greatness. Speak it until your bones believe it. Speak it until your past bows to your purpose. Speak it because it is already true. Number two, surrendering to divine duty. Once you recognize your chosen earth angel, a profound shift happens, not just in how you see the world, but in how the universe begins to respond to you. This isn't just about being special in a superficial way. It's a deep spiritual awakening that sets you apart, not for superiority, but for sacred purpose. You're no longer walking aimlessly. You're walking intentionally, guided by an unseen hand, illuminated by divine light. What once seemed random now feels precise. Every experience, joyous or painful, becomes part of a higher curriculum designed specifically for your soul's evolution. You're not here to fit in. You're here to awaken. That pull you felt your entire life, that yearning for something more, it's confirmation that your steps are divinely ordered. Evelyn Underhill once stated, "Mysticism is practical, not theoretical. It is an entirely spiritual activity. This isn't just poetic, it's deeply true. Being chosen isn't about theories or titles. It's not about how much scripture you can quote or how enlightened you appear. It's about how present, surrendered, and spirit-led you allow yourself to be." Underhill, a pioneer in Christian mysticism, reminds us that spiritual truth must be lived. Mysticism is when the soul opens its eyes and sees behind the veil, understanding that there is a design, a rhythm, a cosmic intelligence moving through all things. For the chosen, this isn't an abstract idea, it's your daily reality. Here's the hard yet liberating truth. You must release control. The ego will fight it. It will want to know every step, every outcome, and every reason. But your spiritual elevation requires radical trust, action without attachment, movement without needing applause, rest without guilt. Because what's ahead for you can't be micromanaged into existence, it must be surrendered into. Think of the butterfly, how it doesn't negotiate with the cocoon, it just allows the transformation. You too must trust that everything, every detour, delay, or door slammed shut is not happening to you, but for you. Even betrayal becomes a blessing. Even isolation becomes preparation. So trust the process, chosen one. You're not lost, you're being led. The divine assignment on your life is unfolding perfectly, even when it looks chaotic. Your path is not just lit, it's holy. Stay awake, stay surrendered, and know the universe doesn't waste anything when it's working with the chosen. Number 3, embracing spiritual richness. Richness, in its truest form, transcends the digits in a bank account or the luxury of possessions. It's a multidimensional experience that weaves together peace of mind, love that nurtures the soul, a sense of purposeful living, and the joy that springs from deep within. These are the riches no thief can steal, no market crash can touch, and no time can decay. Material wealth, though useful, is only one layer of a prosperous life. Without inner fulfillment, even the grandest mansion can feel like a cage. True wealth is waking up with a calm heart, sharing laughter with those you love, and knowing that your life contributes to something greater than yourself. When you align with your divine purpose, your unique contribution to the world, everything begins to shift. It's not just spiritual fluff. Studies show that people who feel a strong sense of purpose live longer, have lower stress levels, and are generally happier. Purpose acts like an internal GPS, guiding your energy and decisions. When your energy is harmonized with your soul's mission, you become magnetic to opportunities, people, and yes, even financial abundance. As Sadhguru so wisely puts it, when you are all-inclusive, your experience of your existence becomes beautiful, and that's why you're joyful. His words capture the essence of spiritual richness. It's not about possessing more, but about being more. When your joy isn't contingent on circumstances, you're free, and that's the richest form of living. So how do you start cultivating this non-material wealth? Begin with gratitude. It sounds simple, but it's profoundly transformative. Gratitude is the gateway drug to joy. When you take time each day to recognize the blessings in your life, your relationships, your health, your breath, your growth, you begin to realize just how rich you already are. Neuroscience even backs this up. Practicing gratitude reshapes neural pathways and boosts dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. Let this be your action step today. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not the big, flashy things, but the quiet blessings. Maybe it's a heartfelt conversation, a good night's sleep, or simply the fact that you're here, reading this, awakening to a deeper truth. Because the moment you recognize the richness already within you, you unlock the floodgates for more. Not just materially, but spiritually, emotionally, eternally. Number 4, overcoming trials with faith. Challenges are not roadblocks meant to halt your progress. They're divine stepping stones on your journey to becoming the highest version of yourself. Think of them not as punishment or misfortune, but as sacred training grounds for your soul. Every obstacle is a sculptor's chisel against the marble of your being, refining the rough edges, deepening your character, and preparing you for a greater calling. History and psychology back this up. Studies in post-traumatic growth show that individuals who face significant challenges often emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. From Nelson Mandela's 27 years in prison to Malala Yousafzai surviving an assassination attempt, the stories of humanity's great changemakers are soaked in trials that forged them into leaders. Now enter Vaclav Tolev, the Bulgarian spiritual teacher who boldly stated, "There is no evil only unevolved good. What a revolutionary perspective. Rather than labeling adversity or human error as inherently dark, he invites us to see it as simply incomplete, potential that hasn't yet matured. This flips our entire narrative on suffering, that betrayal. Maybe it was the only way to teach you discernment. That failure, it was the fertilizer for your eventual success. Like how unrefined gold must be melted to become pure, your trials are alchemical fires transmuting the raw materials of your life into divine wisdom. The universe doesn't give you a trial to break you. It gives it to birth the leader inside you. Each time you rise after a setback, you're not returning to who you were, you're upgrading. Evolution isn't a straight path. It's spiraled with lessons, setbacks, and breakthroughs. The caterpillar doesn't morph into a butterfly without dissolving into goo first. That breakdown you're in, it might just be your transformation in disguise. So your action step is clear. Face every challenge with the mindset of a warrior ascendant. Don't flinch, don't retreat. Instead, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? How is this making me stronger? Lean in. Get curious. Embrace the discomfort as proof that growth is happening. Life doesn't test the weak. It tests those destined for more. The trials aren't here to bury you. They're here to bloom you. You're not just surviving the storm. You are the storm evolving in real time. Number 5, harnessing the power of community. Even the chosen one needs allies. This is not just poetic wisdom, it's a spiritual necessity. On the path of awakening, where one often walks alone through the desert of isolation, misunderstanding, and inner transformation, the presence of fellow spirit warriors can be the oasis that nourishes the soul. Surrounding yourself with people who don't just tolerate your spiritual journey, but actively uplift, challenge, and support. It is like building a sacred circle around your soul, each person a guardian of your growth, a mirror for your evolution, and a reminder that you're not walking this divine path alone. Jaya Kishore, a celebrated spiritual speaker and devotional artist known for her bhajans and enlightening discourses, often emphasizes satsang, the gathering of like-minded souls, as a powerful catalyst for spiritual progress. In her teachings, she highlights how even Lord Krishna needed the Pandavas, how Buddha had his Sangha, and how every enlightened being, no matter how elevated, thrived within the energy of shared wisdom and collective prayer. The concept isn't new. In ancient India, spiritual seekers lived in ashrams, not just for instruction, but for the energy field created by group intention and shared devotion. Modern neuroscience even backs this up. Mirror neurons in the brain are activated in group settings, enhancing empathy, connection, and learning. In simpler terms, when you surround yourself with spiritually aligned individuals, you evolve faster because their vibration lifts yours. But here's the twist. These spirit warriors aren't just cheerleaders. True allies will challenge your ego, call you out on your spiritual laziness, and nudge you lovingly when you're blind to your own patterns. They don't flatter, they awaken. These are the people who understand when you say you've been in the void, who nod knowingly when you speak of synchronicities or divine downloads, who send you prayers instead of platitudes. Your tribe, once found, becomes your sanctuary. So what's the action step? Find them. Join a spiritual group, whether it's a meditation circle, a church community, a yoga class, or even an online spiritual forum. Show up, speak your truth, share your story, be open to learning and equally willing to teach. The beauty of this journey is that the more you give, the more you receive. And remember, Earth Angel, even the chosen one needs a family of light to rise into the fullness of their divine mission. Number 6, continuous learning and growth. Being chosen is not a finish line you cross. It's a sacred invitation into an ever-evolving odyssey of the soul. It doesn't arrive with trumpets, trophies, or a shiny badge labeled enlightened. Rather, it's a whispered call to rise again and again into the highest version of yourself. To be chosen is to embrace a lifestyle of perpetual transformation, one that is both fierce and tender. It's not for the faint-hearted because it demands soul-deep vulnerability and radical honesty. The journey is not about showcasing perfection, but about owning your imperfections, learning from them, and allowing each scar to become a teacher. This path is a living paradox. It's both ancient and fresh, mysterious and methodical. Swami Mukundananda, a modern-day sage and founder of Jakyog, brilliantly frames this paradox by stressing that true growth begins within, not at the gym, not in the bank account, but but in the silence of your own heart. He teaches that spiritual development is not optional fluff, but the very core of human evolution. Drawing from sacred texts like the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads, Swami Mukundananda reminds us that knowledge must not only be read, but lived. According to him, intellectual understanding without daily application is like watering seeds but never planting them. He warns that the untrained mind is like an unguarded city, open to attack from fear, ego, and worldly noise. Science now agrees with what sages have long known. Neuroplasticity research confirms that the brain reshapes itself based on repeated behaviors and thoughts. That means every meditation session, every conscious breath, every moment of mindful reflection actually rewires your brain toward peace and purpose. So when you study a sacred verse and sit quietly with its meaning, you're not just being spiritual, you're building new neural highways toward higher awareness. And yet, the magic lies in the mundane. You don't need a Himalayan cave or a guru on speed dial, just 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes to read something sacred, sit in silence and write what your soul whispers. These aren't rituals of the elite, they're practices of the awake. Over time, these small choices create seismic shifts in who you are and how you show up in the world. Because being chosen isn't about being special, it's about being committed. Committed to stretching, stumbling, rising, and always evolving. Not to impress the world, but to honor the divine spark within you that refuses to stay dim. Number 7, manifesting your divine legacy. Your life, dear soul, is not just a random sequence of events. It is a divine manuscript, authored by the Creator himself. Each breath you take, every step you walk, is a verse in a living testimony to God's infinite glory. When you choose to walk in your divine purpose, boldly, without apology, you become more than just a person living on earth. You become a lighthouse in a world often lost in fog. Your journey, with all its highs and lows, speaks louder than sermons. It tells others, yes, you too can overcome. You too have a sacred calling. This is the essence of divine influence, not to control others, but to awaken them. The English mystic Evelyn Underhill once wrote, "The spiritual development of the soul is addressed. The self does not merely behold, but rather has fruition of the Godhead in life and in love." What a profound truth. Underhill wasn't referring to a far-off spiritual experience tucked away in a monastery or temple. She was speaking to the everyday mysticism of those who dare to live from the soul. True spiritual growth isn't passive observation. It's a dance, an immersion, a divine romance between the soul and its source. It is through love, active, courageous, and sometimes messy love, that we taste divinity. Science and spirituality now walk hand in hand more than ever. Neuroscience tells us that living with purpose literally rewires the brain, increasing resilience, well-being, and even longevity. That sense of calling we feel isn't wishful thinking, it's embedded in our biology and our spirit. Viktor Frankl, the renowned neurologist and Holocaust survivor, found that even in the darkest prisons, those who had a purpose survived with their souls intact. That's not coincidence, it's design. Your purpose isn't just good for you, it's medicine for a world starved for meaning. So, what is the action step? Live authentically. It may sound simple, but it's the bravest choice you can make. Authenticity isn't just about being honest, it's about being aligned. It means you show up as your whole self, allowing your unique light to shine, not dimmed by fear or comparison. It means using your gifts, even if your voice trembles or your hands shake. It means being a mirror, reflecting God's presence through your presence. When you do this, when you live lit up from within, you become a spark that ignites others. You won't even need to preach, your life will do the speaking. And one by one, souls around you will begin to remember who they truly are. Spirit warriors, you've been awakened to your divine calling. Embrace your status as the chosen one. Trust in God's duty to lead you into richness forever. Remember Elijah? He embraced his calling, faced his trials, and emerged victorious. His story is a mirror of your potential. Now it's your turn. Step into your destiny. The world awaits your light. As Rumi once said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Stay blessed, spirit warriors. Your journey has just begun.